Pisces, hello and welcome to your reading for May 27th through June 3rd. So as soon as I got into your energy, I started singing the Pink Panther theme song. And for any of you guys who are interested in old films, I love them. Turner Classic has a Pink Panther that I watched when I was alone in London. And it was so good. It was just like exactly what films ought to be, not this like gore slasher stuff that's like so common nowadays. The film was about the wardrobe, it was about the locations, and maybe you guys are feeling like life is a movie, darling. Six of Water. Yeah, maybe you guys love this movie as a kid and you're tapping into this childhood innocence. So the sun is currently in your fourth house, so this is the house of home and childhood. Whatever you guys can do to heal your inner child during this time, it's going to allow for you to transcend whatever limitations you had as a child, whatever judgments you might have had upon yourself. La Amau Mau. This is 10. So we have a 6, which the sun is at 6 degrees on this Monday, ruled by the moon. The moon is in Capricorn, which is your 11th house, and it's at the upper limits of the 11th house. So that net 10 is also what I'm looking at. It's at 28 degrees. So you're manifesting connections that heal your inner child. Maybe you wish you had, your imaginary friends and you were told they weren't real, but you're meeting people who are just like what your imaginary friends were like as a kid. So it's all good. The Goddess of Wind, Atonement. This is so Gemini. If there ever was a card from the Mana deck that's representing Gemini for me. The day indeed passes. The teaching is La Mau Mau is the goddess of the winds. The fact that there were at least 63 different kinds of winds named in the Hawaiian dictionary attests to the intimate knowledge that the Hawaiians have of wind, contributing greatly to their exquisite navigational abilities. Hawaiians were also were inventors of the lupe, which means kite. There's a kite in the chart. There's a kite in the chart today, and it's pointing at that 29-degree Neptune placement, and then Black Moon Lilith at 26 degrees Virgo. So because Virgo is your opposing energy, it's mutable Earth. If I'm wrong, let me know. That is in your 7th house of relationships. What I said is you're basically starting to meet people who heal your inner child wounds. And it doesn't matter what you've achieved in life. You still deserve to have that nurturing from friends, from people who make you believe in God's love. They make you see that you are lovable and you've always been lovable, but now you're going to really see it and believe it. So it's beautiful. I love that there's a kite in the chart that day. So on Tuesday, Mars Day, the sun is at 7 degrees Gemini. Mars is at 21 degrees Taurus in your 2nd house. So Mars is definitely propelling you guys to take all the actions that are moving you into making that coin, baby. You guys are earning so much money, it's nuts. And then the sun at 7 degrees Gemini will give you a sign about your next steps. Passion of the Wild Red Mother, 36. So there were 63 different kinds of winds, and this is 36. So I feel that the opposing energy to wind is really, even though I think it's, no, there isn't any opposing energy, but we're getting into the molten, hot passion that maybe the inner child healing is going to allow for you to rise to the surface and start to express from your root, from maybe where it wasn't safe to be yourself fully as a kid, or some trauma happened to you that held you back from really being the full expression of yourself. And this is from the Rumi deck. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. So it's like 6 and 3 is receiving and believing. 3 and 6 is believing and then receiving. So you're in this exchange momentum. It feels good. Don't ask of the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of drunks, from Rumi. So that also, someone spoke words similar to this about, this was Josiah Brandt, who does readings of Neville Goddard. He said there's a difference between people who speak about mysticism and spirituality from a speculation standpoint, and then there are people who live it, and they are living testaments to it. And I feel that you may have implemented a lot of structures that allow for you to surge out these intuitive urges, but now you're starting to see the value in really tapping into your gifts in a way that is more feminine. It's less judgmental than ever, but it's allowing for this explosion, like the magma of, if we get Pele next, that would be really cool. Or if we get her at all in this reading, because it's like the passion is starting to be stirred because you have the validation of friends, which you deserve. Everyone deserves to have people who validate them and see them on a level like beyond transactional. I feel like this is an energy of this week, transactional. You guys have Pohaku, again, another 36. And Pohaku, I believe it speaks to harsh familial relations and working through those emotions. That's really cool. You guys got a lot of 36s in here. And it is a phallic stone. My husband and I visited it, and I found a green crystal like this. I don't know what it was, but my husband was like, take it. That's for you. Relations. There is life in the stone and death in the stone. Pohaku symbolizes relationships. He ola ka pohaku ahe make ka pohaku. There is death in the stone and death in the stone. There's life in the stone and death in the stone. So maybe it's just like your relations really, like maybe you had a masculine energy, and that could be in either your mother or your father, grandma, grandpa, who, like one of them, the feminine one, encouraged you and the masculine one suppressed you. And they made you feel like you were never enough. And I think that this is an energy that's being purged out on Mars Day. Mercury Day. Mercury will be at 21 degrees Taurus in your third house. So this is you carrying this product into the world in a new way, and you're starting to have fun with it. 21 is when it starts to get fun, according to Sensei from Sirius Joy. That net 3 is about belief, and we are believing in the decisions we're making with the sun at 8 degrees Gemini. Venus is on its tail, and we're going to see Venus and the sun fall, like they're carrying each other into this synergy of our heart is bringing us confidence that is unshakable. It can't be taken away from us. It's not something that anyone can further validate you on, because you have the people in your life who see you and they witness you, and it allows for this passion to really evolve and uplift you. And it's doing more to like polarize you from this relationship that was masculine and it was not supportive to you. It's allowing for you to see how they never had the support that you have, and they never had the encouragement that you have. So you have compassion for them. You don't have sympathy, because everyone has to make choices. And we each need to make a choice to move our story, our soul's story, 1 centimeter a day, just one. And then show up tomorrow and do that same little integral action and let it start to build to where in a month's time you're doing 3 of those things. And you're moving still 1 centimeter a day, but it's like in a expansion rather than just forward. We're not linear beings. We are quantum beings. And I think that we're going to start to see this more and more. Whew. Okay, Jupiter Day. Jupiter is going to the 4th house. It's 1 degrees Gemini, and we're going to really start to love the relationships in our life. And I think that that's what this compassion is speaking to, is a real sensation of getting wind in our sails. We're feeling lifted up by our thoughts. Our thoughts aren't, there's not that nagger, sorry, in the back of our head telling us we can't do what it is that we're set here on earth to do. We aren't buying that story anymore. It's not something that, you know, we don't have that malice in our heart. We're lighthearted. And in this lightheartedness, King of Water, you guys have this very balanced masculine nature that is not limited by a need to really defend yourself and protect yourself. It's like the people who used to naysay you, they're falling off. They don't have time anymore to follow you, because you're moving at a rate that's like repelling them. They can't even interact with your work anymore. So if it was people close to you, if it was people in your audience, you guys are not touched by this because of the connections that you're making, the milestones that you're making in your life and your career. And all of the money that you're making that's allowing for you to give to people who work for you, your team. You're working with teams that really motivate and inspire you. And then it's all sort of like this Neptune at 29 degrees where that kite is. It's leading you into this very beautiful place, Pisces, that feels like you guys have worked lifetime after lifetime. You didn't have the faith. You didn't have the relationship, the creator with God that you do now, and Christ, which is what Neville Goddard speaks to. Josiah Brandt is, I believe, Neville Goddard reincarnated. it speaks to the imagination, because Christ came here to leave us with a consciousness, a fearless path into death. Because when we die, a lot of Eastern traditions will say to, well, they don't say this, but you can ascend and take your body with you, like Christ did. And that is something that Christ learned from them during his time of like ages 12 to 30. He was off in the Himalayas meditating with monks and masters and people who turn to Christ too. So you guys are having this newfound sense of what's the word, hierarchy, inner hierarchy, to where you're not intimidated by the trolls. The trolls don't even take up any of your time. You're more concerned about delivering your passion into the world in a connected way. So we go to Venus Day. Venus is at 9 degrees Gemini, and we're going to be able to take actions. Let's see what your 5th house is. Your 5th house is Cancer, and it feels like, because we're building towards Cancer season, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Whatever happens on Monday stays on Monday. I'm just kidding. Whatever happens on Monday is going to be really sweet. Like, it's going to be a surrender into what's coming into your life. And then that 9, which is the opposite, the 6 and the 9 of Cancer, it's going to be like you are now motivated to take action from this very healed, nurtured place. It's like a little baby egg. It still needs to have you sitting on it, but it's going to feel like you're birthing something new into the world from a place that's very different from your previous motivations for doing what you've been doing, which will lead to growth, because it's like that was the secret sauce that needed to be added to the recipe. All right, Saturday, June 1st, Sun is at 11 degrees Gemini in your 4th house. So I feel like because you've done the work this week and healed within you the voice in your mind, your inner voice, it's going to push you into a place where you're feeling more supported by yourself. You're feeling that whatever has to go is going for good. It's not going to be something that creeps back up later and comes to grab at your ankles. It's going to lay and be at peace. So that was for Saturn Day. Sunday, June 2nd, maybe that's exactly what that is. You're going to believe now that the ghosts of Christmas past are things you've resolved, because you're healing your ability to be receptive to genuine compliments, to genuine connections, to people who don't want anything from you. They just love you. And this is something that you haven't been able to do before. Black Moon Lilith moves a degree. It moves to 27 degrees Virgo. And the galactic center, which is like now the children being born, this is what their mission is on Earth. It's at 27 degrees as well, but that's in Sagittarius. So in your 7th house, you're going to heal the feelings you had around your intuition whenever people told you were wrong, they shut you down, they gaslit you. Now you know you can take action from that place, and you're empowered to take action from your knowing, from your faith, from the inner voice inside. And for anyone who's interested, check out Josiah Brandt reading Neville Goddard. He has so much wealth. That's really what propelled me into this life that I live now. We have the South Node at 12 degrees Libra, and the Sun and Venus at 12 degrees. So the North Node's at 12 degrees. So we are now like snapping and locking into place to ride on the roller coaster. And it's a roller coaster that is going to make you pee your pants, because it's going to be so much fun. I hate roller coasters, but I've ridden one that was so much fun, and it was with my siblings. So let's look at your 3rd house of Taurus. Yeah, we have 24 degrees Uranus. Really, I think it's allowing for us to work with that. Your Pluto is in your 12th house. Passion. You're believing. You are so believing in yourself, and Pele is giving you the ability to be respective of your heritage and your ancestry, despite what shortcomings these people might have had. They're coming to you in signs that are very healing and nurturing for you, to say that you don't have to be withdrawn anymore. I just spoke to this. As a kid, going to church, I had my Harry Potter book, and my mom said, you can read Harry Potter, just don't tell anyone. So that seeded in me from a young age that I could do what I want, but people will not like me for it. And I'm healing that now. Unite the Light healed that for me. And it feels like you guys are going to come into this healing energy of being able to now communicate what you really feel without any agenda, without people needing it from you. You're going to do it for you. And that's going to be the key that unlocks you and lifts you up into this transcendental place and makes your money that much sweeter to earn because it's coming from a place of you accepting yourself fully. And I feel that that's also going to attract love and partnership that you might have feared because there were people who made you insecure about things that are the most beautiful about you, Pisces. It's okay. We're healing that. Monday, June 3rd, the moon will be at 7 degrees Taurus, your third house of siblings, talents, and James Altucher, which Chris from Minnow Pontero suggested this audiobook, Skip the Line. He or someone else, I'm not sure if it's that, but he speaks to having talents that we cultivate a passion for. Whoever this person is, hopefully I'll remember and can share it next time. With the moon at 7 degrees Taurus at this time, 8 a.m. Hawaiian time, so 11 Pacific, and then 2 p.m. Eastern, whichever time zone you are, check the AstroSeek clock and you'll find out. You will get really relevant downloads. Mercury will be at 0 degrees Gemini, so this is going to be a very critical moment, a critical breakthrough. The sun will be at 13 degrees, Venus will be at 13 degrees. It's going to be allowing for you to take back your power around your identity, who you are, how you receive and accept the limelight, because let's face it, you are perfect. That perfection is in every single mistake you make, making you into a very unique being that people look to for guidance. So the more you can affirm yourself and say, you know, you love yourself unconditionally. Don't be in that conditional love of, oh, if I only achieve this, then I'll be able to love myself. I'll only be able to get what I need out of life, a partner, a home, whatever, if I have this. Take all of that away and you still love yourself, Pisces, and that will be the healing of this Neptune at 29 degrees. That's going to be with us until September. So if you don't get it quite right, if you still find yourself, you know, talking yourself down or beating yourself up, just know that this too shall pass, and the passion for what it is that you're bringing forth will be very healing for you. Love you so much, Pisces. Have an amazing week. Aloha.